Welcome everyone to Resident Casuals. This is Shaun. We're doing a little review slash interview with Scotty on his Let's Play of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. How are you, Scotty? You doing good?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Back to the 9 to 5 job now,
Yeah.
so no more working from home.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that awful news, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Well, I've been there for weeks upon weeks on site, so
Yeah,
yeah.
you never really got to work. Well, you can't work from
No,
home,
I
really.
can't.
You're
No,
joking. Just
no.
making a pipe in your living room, like.
Yeah, yeah. Just angle grinding steel and everything and welding in my kitchen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Pretty
Sound,
much. Yeah.
sound. So yeah, so you finished Jedi Fallen Order recently, and I have to say, like, it came quite quickly to me.
Mm,
Like, it was you were playing it, and you were like, oh, I've done it.
yeah.
Yeah, that is like generally like after you completed it
Mhm.
from a non like let's play, what like generally what did you think of the game?
I thought it was a buggy mess, but it was a fun buggy mess.
Nice,
I
yeah.
really thoroughly enjoyed it. Like on my last video, like I said, thank you very much to Respawn Entertainment and for I genuinely meant it. Like I had fun and it was great, and to know that that's Star Wars canon is fantastic from a very geek point of view. But playing through it, it was really quite fun. And from a Souls point of view, like a Soulsborne point of view, like it was like a easier version of that sort of. Even though at times I got absolutely pummeled, but um,
Mm,
it was it was quite good. But like, sorry, I should say if Soulsborne plus like Tomb Raider sort of thing as well. So like
okay.
you know what I mean. So you're still going around and you're finding like all the boxes and you're finding all sorts of like artifacts in the background and like even just things on walls. Like you just look at like an inscription on a wall or like paintings and things like that. Like Dathomir was really cool to me. Like I really liked
Yeah.
that. And yeah, like but full on gameplay wise, like I really did enjoy it. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the story. I think if I wasn't, I think if I just kind of went through it and like raced through it, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more instead of trying to find all the bits and stuff like that. But the worst part is that I'm inquisitive enough that I'm like, no, I need to look at like what's behind that door, like or
Right.
like that rock's broken, like I can definitely go through there, and things like that. But it was really fun and like the worst part was is when I went back to a couple of planets that were hard originally, like Zepho was hard, and then when I got to the lake area, and I went back the
Mm,
second time, it got way harder after I unlocked double jump and things like that. That was
okay.
fun, and the bounty hunters and stuff like that showing up. I was a little bit devastated though with one thing about just to quickly go on the bounty hunters, is that the fact that if you died once or twice, they'd go and then they'd be replaced with like stormtroopers, and I was devastated about that.
Mm,
Yeah. So
that's
yeah, that
weird.
was like one thing. I was like, no, just let me just web them everywhere, or do like a Bloodborne sort of thing where with the snatches that you would, if they got ya, that you would go back to um, so Sark Tormo's like jail, and you have to get like picked up again or something like that, or
Mm,
like maybe just add a little bit more. But yeah, other than that,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fine, man.
yeah,
Well, I'm kind of like picking up from that from what you said. When I so watching it, I got like, and I think I said this to you earlier, like quite quickly, I got a Mass Effect Andromeda vibe to it, and from the setup of like traveling in the ship to even like just the overall sound of the game, and also even the glitches
hmm
in the game. That I was just thinking, this feels like Mass Effect Andromeda. It
yeah.
and the
Unfortunately,
way
no one did a cool crab walk though or anything like that, which is unfortunate.
No, yeah, so it wasn't as like glitchy as obviously Mass Effect, but with Mass Effect Andromeda, there was so many. bits missing from the game. Did you feel like what bits did you feel were missing from the overall design of the game,
I think
if any?
exploration would have been bit better. Like any
Okay, yeah.
chance to kind of just climb some more things, or you know that like from a glitchy mess, like you'd be like, oh, like I'd jump on like a rock or something like that, and it would let me land on it, and then it would give me the idea that like, oh, I could probably get up a little bit higher. I would have liked to have been able to like run across the rocks, or like things like that. But that
Mm,
that was like a glitch because it would lead me on a path of like, oh sweet, I can get up here, and then I'd just glitch through a wall or something like that, or I'd like land like down to my knees in the floor in concrete or
yeah.
in a ship or something like that, and I was just like, what? But other than that, like that was the only thing that was really missing. Like I don't think I missed anything due to a glitch. I think it kind of if anything, it made me do it again because it was like, hang on, just in case I've missed something here, or like I've gone through a wall, or like even
Ah,
there was
right.
there was a floor, like I was running across a building and I went through a building like down to my knees, and that was one thing I was like, if I checked it and I could go in there, and but the worst part is that I looked up and there was a stormtrooper walking across, and you could see his boots through the thing, and I was like, oh, they kind of gave it away a
Ah,
little bit. It gave away
yeah.
a little surprise, yeah. But going back to your first question, actually, like, yeah, the end definitely did creep up on me as well. Like what you were saying is what, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that kind of
Yeah,
felt like a bit of a glitchy mess as well, because I thought
yeah.
you could do a little bit more. Yeah, so like it was just done, but I thought it was
Mm,
done tastefully enough. It was like they didn't speed the ending up too fast that it was like I've missed out on everything. Like you had enough time, even though you were running away from them, if that makes
right.
sense.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I kind of wish like you'd have like a little bit more of a fight at the end of it as well, because
Right, yeah.
it was, I mean, full spoilers anyway. I mean, we've finished the game and it's been out for a while, but
Yeah.
like fighting Darth Vader and things like that, it was just like, at least let us have a go. You know what I mean? And he would like
Mm,
force pushes off, like, or like backed against the wall, and then we go, nah, screw this, I'm getting out of here. But like Sierra jumped in and saved the day and stuff like that, and that was really really cool. And like Night Sister Marin being able to grab her, that was awesome as well. But yeah, that was
c-
yeah.
no, that's cool, man. Yeah, excellent. Like, what leads in again? It leads me into my next question. Like, did you feel compelled by Carl's story? Because personally, I've cared more for other characters, and maybe the introduction of Darth Vader at literally, at the death of the game.
Mm,
I felt maybe they could have done that a bit sooner. Like, I felt like that the story was kind of like top heavy.
right.
Like there was a large portion of it, and you were just going along, and then
Mm.
suddenly a lot was crammed in at the end, and that's just my feeling. I just want to did you enjoy the story from like a pure story point of view, or do you think they could have done things a little bit better?
I think yeah, like I enjoyed the story and things like that, but there was a few um like quite a lot of lore tidbits and stuff like that which made you just go, oh yeah, no, skip on to the next thing. But there's like quite a few interesting nuggets and things like that, like that would
Mm,
be in like paragraphs that you'd read, and then like the top paragraph, like there'd be a bit of filler, and then they'd be like, oh, like the one juicy bit in the middle of it, and you'd be like, oh, that's sweet, that like that's like I'm taking that on board, and what have you, like
mm,
while I was playing the game. But like I was saying earlier, I think that game is designed to you're designed to run faster than what I did. So if like for instance, if I were to go back and do a new game plus, I probably would get more out of it. But
okay,
like because I'd be running through it and then I'd see the story come out a little bit more. But then
right,
yeah, there was like yeah, being able
right.
to yeah, go on.
No, so I see what you're saying. So because you explored so much,
Mm.
the story felt more fit. Like the story beats were pushed further away,
Yeah,
so
like
it wasn't as fluid. All right,
yeah,
I get what you're
there was no
saying.
urgency to the cause.
Mm,
And things
yeah,
like that, which like you know, which even then, if somebody said to me like, "Cal, hurry up," like constantly, I probably would have been like, "Nah, I'm gonna go and explore some more," like things like
right.
that. But I don't know. I guess I'm just a rebel in a video game in my own right, but um, like
No, because
I'm
it's
glad there wasn't that kind of annoying thing. But yeah, definitely, if I were to have ran through it a lot faster, I think the story would have sunk in more. It would have been a lot more easiest way to explain it, like a domino effect,
mm,
like from the start. So yeah, but whereas instead I was like constantly stopping them.
no, yeah, fair enough, man. I mean, it's a good point that you make. What I find interesting though is that to go back, not Mass Effect Andromeda, but Mass Effect like 1 and 2,
Hmm.
like there was so much exploration in there. And I remember Mass Effect 1, I read like the entire codex of that game.
Right.
So you'd find, a new race or
Yeah.
some more information, and your codex would say new. And I'd read that, and I read the entire codex in Mass Effect 1, and all the little side exploration. Like I literally covered the entire Citadel, and I slept with every single character you could sleep with in that game. Um,
Cal's a
but
Jedi. He can't do that.
I know, yeah, no, but like, but I still felt driven by the story, and I still felt immersed by the story. So I'm wondering, even though like the exploration kind of led you off the beaten path, and if it pushed the beat of the story further away,
Mhm.
is that a failure? Failure?
Failure.
I'll just say that word. Failure. Fuck. Um, would you say that that's one of them for the game? Even it's 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 splatting of law all around the place, and it it failed to make the game feel fluid, because
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
game is made to be explored. Like I like watching it, like all those little powers that you unlock that get you to so you could double jump on another ledge that would open up another area. The
Mm,
game is created to be explored. So
mm.
I don't know, that's just my feeling from it.
No,
I
no,
felt like
no. I definitely agree. Like, so you
mm,
unlock like a couple of things. Like, on Dathomir, after you fight the bat, you unlock these like claws, which means you can like crawl around like certain surfaces and things like that. And
mm,
it would like, and then when I was running through Dathomir the first time, I'd look at those walls and I go, okay, well, I don't get what that is. But then when I ran through it the
mm,
second time, I could see loads of like, well, just a couple of things on the map where it's like, oh, I can go and get them now. But there was no sense of like, well, do I need them? Because all the boxes that you get, they're all just cosmetics. There was nothing really
right,
that was like detrimental to the game. It's just like I can make my lightsaber look cool, or BD, or Cal, or the Mantis. That was it. Just they were just paint
right,
jobs and cosmetics, and it was just like,
mm,
so. If I wanted to run back, I was like, okay, like I liked my lightsaber the way it is. Like it stayed green, and then I had Valor and Wisdom on it, I think, and then I can't remember what my lightsaber name, what the actual parts were, but um, like you know what I mean. Like I was happy with the way it
mm,
all looked. There was no need to go back, but
yeah,
to go story wise, to go and get everything, like to go and get every little lore nugget or try and find every sort of force echo or anything like that. Most of the time, I ran into all the force echoes anyway because you could see them. And it would be like, how am I supposed to get over there? Like, I really like that level design. But then going on like further on, it's like Night Sister Merrin came up. It's like I've harped on a little bit about it before. Like Dathomir is really like I really like Dathomir because it's like there's magic there, there's force, there's Sith, and then there's like a tiny little bit of Jedi like there, or Jedi come there, and then it's their choice whether they become like take this power in and become Sith, or like they try and learn the magic and then they end up getting corrupted anyway, or Jedi just go there because they're fascinated, like uh like the main character, not the main character, which is Cal, the other character who he's following, who just name escapes me, um things like that. But then like Sierra or Night Sister Marin or even Grease, like you don't really get much about them. Like Grease is like a smuggler, like in other words, they like ripped off like Han Solo, but he was more of a shithouse. And then you'd have like Sierra, who was a Jedi, but then got tortured and stuff like that. And but you only had like a few flashbacks and then like a little bit of dialogue, uh, a
Mm,
little bit of lore and things like that. Night Sister Merritt, I'm pretty sure she had like two bits of lore or something like that. And but even though towards the end of the game when she comes and saves Cal and you're back on the ship and stuff like that, and going back to what you were saying before about like Andromeda where you could just go around and like marry loads of people, it kind of makes me think like they're remaking this Jedi Order. Like there's a possibility that like they are now allowed to love, like things like that, because you can
mm,
tell Sierra's like she's angry, but she also like she loved her Padawan and things like that, like like a daughter and things like that. And whereas
mm,
in Star Wars canon, you're not supposed to. It's like no, like it's you're you're like a brother or a sister and stuff like that. Whereas in this game, it kind of like as if they were kind of breaking the rules a little bit. And then
mm,
going back to some like, and then the Zepho, like those characters, there's a scene where you get thrown into like God knows what, like another dimension, and the Zepho there. It's like, why did you only give me like two snippets of them? Like, give me loads of that lore. And like, went to Kashyyyk. Like, I know Kashyyyk got like blasted to bits, and there's AT-ATs and ATSTs everywhere. But like, I wanted more of the characters that we already know and things
right.
like that. Yeah, so that was that was my take on expanding on it. It's like they had so much room to put things in, but in my eyes, it was kind of just like, no, this is a linear path. Just try and linear path with a few sprigs that you can go down. But then also,
Mm,
like, why didn't you give us fast travel? That was another big one. Like, you needed
right.
fast travel in it big time.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good point, man. No, that's a very good point. Would have helped a lot.
Mm,
Yeah. So one aspect of the game that I personally didn't like
mm,
um was how much of the wildlife you fight. Not that like I care on oh it's Peter kind of stuff like that, like not because of that, but because I wanted you to fight
RSPCA
more.
even.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to see. I know there was a large portion of it, but I wanted you to fight more like stormtroopers or bounty hunters, and I wanted more of that. Whereas it just seemed like half of the game you were fighting um
Just wildlife.
just insects and cockroaches and stuff like and giant spiders, and I'm
Mm,
just like it doesn't feel like when you were fighting like there was a portion and you were just fighting like giant spider after giant spider, and
yeah,
I'm
on
like, this
Kashyyyk.
isn't
Yeah.
Star Wars. This is like Monster Hunter World. Like what's going on here?
Mm.
Um, yeah. So I just want your thoughts on that in terms of enemies. Do you think it lent too heavily into the fight? Being a pest controller person,
Mm.
exterminator, or
Yeah.
were you happy with the balance?
Uh, I don't know. Like I think it was a little bit too much, like the fact of pest control or whatever. But I do get it. It's like you go to Kashyyyk, it's like it's just one massive jungle, and
Mm,
I understand that like the um the Empire have cleared out like this massive chunk and what have you, and so there probably really shouldn't be. But then the spiders come in. Like I think there could have been more, yeah, stormtroopers or something like that, or bounty hunters, especially after I got captured and went to Sork Tomo's like prison, like because after then, or rather his like comet or asteroid or whatever it was, like his spaceship, and then yeah, like he just unleashed all these beasties on me. I was a bit like, yeah, okay, cool, like I did want a bit more of like, okay, well you could have captured someone from Dathomir, like a savage, or like like a Tuscan Raider, like just throw one of them in, like something just completely weird and different. But and then like I was saying earlier, like if you failed at the bounty hunters, like that was it. Then like it just got taken away from you. There was no second chance to go back. And then there was one back on Begano as well. There was like a Murdy bot rocks up, and I can't remember the second one's name, but and that one I died once, came back down, and then there was nothing there. There was just like the creatures, and I was like, oh, like what was the point in even having that there? Then if you're just gonna take it away from us? because there's no achievement for it or anything like that. You know, like there's nothing like he didn't drop anything cool, or even when I killed the last two on Dathomir and stuff like that, like they didn't drop anything, just like a lore nugget, and I was like, cool, no achievement, nothing. So I was like, I could have had it. It could have been more rewarding than kind of just like slashing through enemies, like a kind of like a Dynasty Warriors sort of thing. Like that, I didn't really feel as if they were strategically placed, if you will. But then again, I did jump out on my skin a couple of times. Like I absolutely shit myself. Like when a couple of spiders jumped out, like that big time got me. But
I remember that one. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, even like to the point where there was no enemies in the water. Like if I'm on Kashyyyk and then you're throwing spiders at me and everything like that, like surely there's things in the water.
Mm,
And like I hadn't unlocked the like oh I know sorry I unlocked the dive mechanic when I was on my second run through, and
mm,
it's just like there could have been things in the water or something else to have a look at and whatever.
right.
Yeah. And then BD screwing up, and I was just like, where is this thing that you want me to have a look at? And I started getting super angry. But yeah, you know, like other than that, like yeah, I just think there could have been more because it felt rushed, but it was still good, if that makes sense. Like I'm still okay with it. They could have just been more diverse enemies than just spiders and maggot dog things around. Like
Mm,
that was on Begano. It was just like one. It was like a widgety grub with four legs and teeth.
right. Yeah.
If you know what a widgety grub is.
I've no idea.
Right. Okay. Imagine the caterpillar from Bug's Life, but like marshmallow white.
Right.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah, and then
Okay.
you get them in Australia and you eat them.
Okay. God,
Yeah.
you're nuts, you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough, man. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess for you being an Aussie, that this just seemed like just a walk in the outback kind of thing, didn't it?
No, I wouldn't go that far,
Okay.
but
Such a stereotype. Sorry, man.
it's all right.
Yeah, and finally, just your final thoughts and a score out of 10, if you don't mind.
A score out of 10. Okay, right.
Mm,
Final thoughts. Like I think it was really good, and I think it's a game I am definitely gonna revisit. I don't think like the DLC stuff that dropped was a little bit like I don't know really if I'll check that out. I might have like a quick go just to see what it is, but it's effectively you're just making yourself a chessboard, and then but it's like one versus however many enemies you want. Like you're doing your own level design. So I don't know. I'm not really. I don't know. We'll see. I might have like a little bash at it, but I have no want to go and check that out. But yeah, a score out of 10. Ooh, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between like a 6 or a 7. Like I had loads of fun and I think it was really good. There was some aspects that were great, but I think it was more on like the good side, and like I felt satisfied. Like I was like, wow, I've done it. That was sick. That was a Star Wars story that's just left me going, okay, cool, what next? But also just Respawn knows how to make a fantastic game. I mean, look at Titanfall 2. Like, just give us more time
mm.
if you're making another one. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say I'd give it a 7.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, I think that's a good score. I think that's a deserved score.
yeah, definitely. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like well, to add on to my final thoughts, even, I think it's definitely a game
No,
worth.
that's it. No more thought. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was definitely worth playing through, and especially if you're a Star Wars fan of any of any era, you'll still go, that's cool, because it ties in straight after Order 66, and you learn like you see things that happen in Order 66, and it makes you go, awesome. Like you just go like there's one section where I'm running through a ship and I'm a Padawan, and I thought that was quite cool. There could have been more to that, but it was really really
Okay.
cool. Yeah. But yeah, no, I
Cool,
had
man.
I had fun. Did you have fun watching it anyway?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, like it's. I think.
That's a better question from the outside in. Like, what did you think of it?
Wow, okay. Let's see. Well, to be honest, like your relationship with BD, like you fuming and you fuming at BD were
Yeah,
just hilarious. Like I really like the glitchiness kind of added it from as a viewer
yeah.
because you were fuming and when the glitch would fuck you over, it was hilarious. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching it. But from I was being like very like objective as well, watching it going, I don't like that, I don't like this.
Hmm.
Um but that was just about the game.
Well, what
But
are
yeah,
your that's also what I mean. Like, so what did you think from like watching the game from the outside in?
well, if so,
Would you play it? In other words,
I'm glad I watched it because I don't think I would buy it now.
right?
Um, I feel like the beginning, like the first level, was sick. Like
Mm.
the whole the
Bracca
way you can't
from the
hide and from
Scrapper Planet.
yeah, and from the Empire, and you'd lift the ship. All that kind of stuff was great.
Mm.
So I was expecting that to go throughout the game, but like the pacing just seemed off so bad, and yeah, I didn't really like. I was like, the story didn't grip me.
Mhm.
Like it's not like if it was maybe cut into like the sisters more, like
Yeah, well,
and you felt
the
like they were
ninth sister.
chasing you.
Yeah, there's the ninth sister,
I
and there's
think I'd
two.
feel more compelled. But yeah, I don't know. I just I didn't really feel that compelling to me. The story and the gameplay was okay. But yeah, the glitches and all. Like I've played Andromeda
Mm.
from beginning to end, and I hated it. And this reminded me of that a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so I think yeah that. So no,
So no, no, not for me.
not for me. But
Fair
it
enough.
was a great let's play, and I'm glad I watched it because it made me realise the game wasn't good, but Scotty is very good at making a let's play.
And laughing at my pain. So yeah,
Out laughing at your pain.
yeah.
You go fuck when you just swear at BD, man. That was just so funny.
Just give me the stem. Yeah. So that's yeah.
Yeah, skin BD, fuck. It was
Yeah.
great, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's my thoughts. So yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, we'll wrap her up there. Thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like if you liked our thoughts and the interview and the review kind of template. Subscribe if you want to see more. Scotty started the Mortal Shell, which is just a weird game. It kind of reminds me of the fella, the Pepsi video game back in the 90s.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of it reminds me of that a bit. I'm doing Resident Evil 3 if you want to check those two out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.